that's... Well, actually, this is nowhere near far enough across. 12, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, straight. So, yeah, this is kind of a short rows for a few. And I am going to have to do the 3-point turn here because I did not do 2 or 3 headlands along this north edge. It's okay. Scrolling up. We do have the room to turn around here. So 10:30. So we're going about 2 hours, 1 hour 44 minutes. That's okay. I guess it's going to be a question. Are we going to have are we going to be all the way through this, or is there going to be a field left to do at nightfall? I can't remember where the other field is precisely. Probably not going to look until I can get a longer straight. Header needs a service. So the other thing that conservation farming mod gave us is there's a new texture on okay, so it's designed to encourage, let's turn it off for a second, no-till farming, and it does leave a sort of a grass texture after you've mulched a field and before you do a direct drill. There was some interesting aspects. I can't remember what they were. Let's just continue with this. I will jump over here. 93 is it's 94, there's 93. Okay, so 93 is all the way down here. We'll probably end up coming down the street, past the gas station, might refuel. Don't know how that's looking. Well, we got half a tank of gas, diesel left. We'll see. Actually, I could look at that on the other PC. So what I will do is we'll get to here, which is rather convenient because we're now actually at the end of the longest end of the field. Get this lined up again. could swing by the store and get this serviced. Okay. Jump over here and look up Simulator 22 official website. Mods. Okay, here we go. Fenceless husbandry. Furling's come back up again. The Cressoni CRX series headers got updated. Apparently there was a problem with the cables connecting to the harvester. Conservation agriculture. Okay, this is the new mod that we are running now. I need to turn around. Get this thing lined up. There we go. And turn the cruise control on. So, it says regenerative farming practices are more beneficial. It adds the following features: grass crops, grain crops and root crops can be used as cover crops. If cover crops have grown enough, so obviously us planting grass and then ploughing it immediately is not grown enough, they can be terminated with rollers, mulchers, cultivators and direct drills. Terminating cover crops will fertilise the field, precision farming supported, and prevent weeding until after the next harvest. So in effect, your cover crop eliminates weeds as well, much like ploughing does normally. Not sure how that's going to affect the environmental score when it comes to dealing with weeds. Back up again. 980, that's close enough. Okay. Blah blah blah. So until after the next harvest. Rolling or mulching cover crops will also grant a mulching bonus. When terminating cover crops, a thin layer of grass can be added to simulate the presence of biomatter. Visual effect only enabled by default. So basically it'll look like this field currently does, with sort of a grass texture, but it's only visual. Chopping straw while harvesting will fertilise the field, so it's a more meaningful alternative to baling. So potentially might consider doing that, especially when we're going to plant the yellow stuff, the maize, because obviously maize needs a heck of a lot of fertilizer, and if I can eliminate some of that by leaving the straw from the previous barley crop as an example, that's going to be a good thing. Direct seeders get an option to allow field create. Good and bad, I don't know. Many modded crops are supported automatically. We're not using any modded crops, but okay. Most effects can be turned on or off in the settings. Only admins can do this for multiplayer. And different fertilization strategies for base game and different fertilization amounts for precision farming are in effect. So I don't actually know what that means. I don't know if it means base game you now have to fertilize 3 times again, or if it's just something else. That's what it noted. So going on from there, it then says mod is related to real life farming in the following ways. It's built around the tree principles, I think that means 3 principles, of conservation agriculture, CA. Minimum mechanical soil disturbance, no tillage. Permanent soil organic cover, with crops, residues and cover crops. Species diversification through proper crop rotation. I didn't see anything in the notes above that suggests crop rotation and how that may or may not be supported. But it's definitely encouraging us to leave straw on the field so that there's something there to protect the dirt. And then also to put in a cover crop if you're going to leave the field empty for a while. And species diversification. The theory is that any system which respects these three principles is sustainable long term since it builds the soil over time. We saw that in Clarkson's farm last season where the guy was planting beans and wheat. He would split the crop when it was harvested. You would just harvest it with the same harvester. But the idea is beans pull nitrogen into the soil, and I know in the UK and potentially in a lot of other places, the soil quality is degrading every single year, and potentially by 2040, 2050, the soil will be in such bad condition that growing stuff may be a problem. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if more recent studies, I don't know if they've come up with solutions, but basically current farming methods, it really isn't, global warming stuff. You're putting chemicals into the atmosphere and it's going to cause global warming. The problem is you are destroying the nutrients in the soil, so you may get to the point where you're not going to be able to grow anything anymore. So, blah blah blah. The approach has the potential to solve soil erosion, nutrient runoff issues, which in turn leads to less additional fertilizer being required. Regenerative farming is a complex topic. Excuse me, let me turn around. Get back over here. And back to the reading. Leads to less additional fertilizer. Regenerative farming is a complex topic, however, and there are many variations and factors which need to be considered, so it can't be easily translated into a simulation. Yeah, fair enough. This mod therefore uses nitrogen levels and the mulching bonus in order to provide at least some kind of reward to the player for maintaining these principles. So, yay, we get free nitrogen and free mulching bonuses. I'll go with that. Yay, nice. Especially if I can harvest a field of barley and not collect the straw and potentially get a mulching bonus or something. I don't know. We'll get more nitrogen, which if I'm going to pull in a field of barley and replace it with grass, that's not going to be good from a grass crop because grass really doesn't want too much nitrogen. So we'd have to be careful how much looks like a golf course over there. Sorry, squirrel. Yeah, we'd have to be careful how much nitrogen not baling straw would do to us. It also tries to offer many configuration options so everyone can adjust to what they believe is most realistic. The mod uses measures to reduce the likelihood of mod conflicts, but these can never be fully excluded. If you find issues, report it to his GitHub. Special thanks to Matthias, FS Gentleman and Cookie Cat for the ideas. So anyway, and he's had a lot of, it's got a lot of modification history. We haven't got version 1 here. However, yeah. So he released it on his GitHub ages ago. It's now on ModHub. And we're using it. And in theory, if it's, I suppose if it's configurable, we could probably go and have a look at the menu. Let's see what the deal is. But yeah, I mean, part of the issue we've had so far is the textures here, especially with corn or maize, foraged maize. We have ended up, if we drive over the field, not a worker, but if we drive over the field, then we destroy the stubble, which eliminates the ability to mulch in those tyre tracks. So, things and stuff. I was right. We're not going to fill this up. But we did get at least one full load from the harvester. Also, my cut-in doesn't look to have been the best. So I'm going to end up with a narrow row to my right. I'm probably going to come back down and end up with a narrow row to my left too. On the other side block. Might be a wide row, I don't know. So yeah, I think once we're done with this field, we'll take the harvester up to the store. We'll have them run a service on it overnight, or for pickup in the morning. We'll then run down to the gas station and fill up with diesel on the way to the last contract field, and we will get started with that. Oh no, I just realised the other field, there are horrible hills both sides of the grain mill, and so the other field, the last wheat field that we're going to have to harvest is going to be more convenient to take to the export market rather than the grain mill, but we don't have an option, so we're going to have a horrible trek back to the grain mill with the wheat from that field. We'll see how that works out. I think what we I might try and we'll take a look at what this field looks like before we finish it. Because we sort of kind of own it while we're doing a contract in it. So if we look here, we're doing field 22 crop types. It is harvested, it is ready to harvest the 2 rows we haven't done. Nothing appearing there. And that's it. So what does it look like on probably nothing on precision farming either. So the soil types we don't know. We don't know the pH. We don't know the nitrogen. Yeah, we can't tell. I kind of figured, but there was the possibility that it may eliminate that. I eliminate that. Yeah, it's not showing anything else here, and it's showing nothing there. Because, you know, in some aspects, whilst we are doing the contract, we kind of sort of own the field, because otherwise it tells us you can't do things on this field because you don't own it. But in other aspects we don't, so it won't give us and we've got precision farming running, and this is basically treated as a base game field because it's a contract field, so we're not going to see much in the way of all the fertilization levels and stuff like that coming through. So, run up this row, run down the other row. It's going to be a nice one trip to the store to sell all this. Which is nice. The fewer trips, the better, in my mind. So, yeah. I think we've done okay. We obviously, on the rest of the farm, we did get a long way through this. We didn't start today's stream until game time around about midday. So we mostly, yeah, we've only had half a day to do these 3 contracts, which I picked up last week on Monday. But there was a bunch of work done around the farm, which we can go and take a look at once we're done here. Let's fold the header up, and well, actually everything now needs a service, so I keep doing that. As I said, we'll run this over to the store now. I'm not sure you're supposed to drive along with everything flapping in the breeze while we fold it up. But, anyway, very briefly there I thought maybe I should get in the cab, but no, we've got that huge great folding header at the front of the harvester which we can't see past, so yeah, we'll keep to the third person view. And I think in the morning we did, whoa, bouncy, we did harvest the oat field at the end of the Monday stream. Can't remember. That's the thing, we did so much stuff. There's nobody walking around at 7:15. We did so much stuff last weekend. I mean, we had 3 of our fields to harvest. We needed to mulch them. We needed to put lime on all of them. I did a little bit of field sculpting. So, you know, it was kind of a busy couple of streams. So, Sometimes it's difficult to remember what you did on a specific session. Anyway. Actually, this harvester not having problems with the hills. Okay, you just pull out of there. Don't mind me. I guess pedestrians have a set time of day to walk around. And it being after 7 o'clock, there is no nightlife in Glenleathann. Nobody goes anywhere. But there's a lot of cars parked at the grocery